What's happening, fam? Welcome back to the show. Now, this is a big day. We're one day away from the crypto summit in the White House, and a lot of people expect a massive announcement regarding the Bitcoin strategic reserve. And I can't help myself but think this can be extremely bearish. And this is not a clickbaity thing that you might be thinking it is. I genuinely am worried about seeing what is really going to happen. Now, we do have this summit coming up tomorrow, which we're going to see how it will happen. Everybody's talking about it. Some people are extremely bullish, some people are extremely bearish. And I just want to give you the facts, and I want to give you the reality. And I'm going to show you in the show what are the examples of different reserves. We're going to talk about the gold reserves and how they actually don't do anything really. And we're going to talk about different examples from the past. And I'm also going to give you the exact levels and exact strategy how I'm going to trade this event tomorrow. That sounds good. Smash the like button. This is a pre-record because I have some family issues I have to take care of. So I'm not going to be here live. But if you still appreciate me coming in here and doing this show, please, please, please smash the like button. Let me know in the comment section. Would truly, truly appreciate it. Let's jump into it. Number one is I wanted to talk about these Mt.Gox Bitcoins because I tweeted this yesterday. So the government holds about 200,000 Bitcoin from different seizures, right? And there was a $1 billion worth of Bitcoin moved from the Mt.Gox wallet. And this is actually still sitting around here. So you will see different transactions. You will see two transactions, one happening 12,000 Bitcoin amounting to $1 billion, and then 166 Bitcoins. Both of them are still sitting in these wallets. There's like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin in this wallet, talking about like self-custody and shit. So anyway, this is kind of crazy. We'll see what's really happening. We'll see. These should be at some point redistributed to the people who lost money on Mt.Gox and whatnot. We are going to see what is going to happen here, but it's definitely something interesting. I will keep you posted on my X if anything happens. You can follow me there. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. I bring you the best alpha. Check out my X is down there. Okay, so this White House thing is happening tomorrow. Now, this is a crypto summit, the first ever crypto summit. Trump is going to be there, and billionaires are going to be there. So you'll see 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗀 attending. Obviously, he's the crypto czar, crypto AI star. Mayka Saylor is going to be there. But you see 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗪 is going to be there. Like people who, Mark Anderson is going to be there. Brian Armstrong is going to be there. Paul Atkins, so CZ. So you see like these massive, massive names attending. Now, I think a lot of people misunderstand what is going to happen. Like I think people come in here and they say, "Oh, these guys are going to come together like a committee and they're going to decide what's going to happen." I think there will be some kind of announcement. But if you look at the previous announcement that happened from 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗪 and the administration regarding the Bitcoin reserve, it's all been fluff. It's all been something we're writing. But now all the cards are on the table. Like we literally know Trump tweeted and said it's going to be ADA, XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. Like we have it on the table. What are they going to say? They're going to say it again? And yes, what we said 5 times previously is actually true. Cool. So I rather think this is like a former stuff where they're going to share minds, but I don't think there's anything going to come out of it. But if you look at this, the market is pricing this in quite nicely. So I think, and this is the scary part about it. This is the weekly chart. This is the daily chart. By the way, this is bent to bubbles. You can look at stocks now. Yeah, we're doing much better on the day in crypto. This is a good day. Finally, we're doing good on crypto. Like, so you can filter for stocks, you can filter for crypto, you can set your own portfolio. It's quite cool. It's a free tool. There's a link in the description. We devved it for you. But so the market is pricing this in quite decently. And that is the scary part because I think too many people are falling into the trap and believing that this is going to be something revolutionary and we're going to see something that we have not seen before. So we're going to talk about the chart and the strategy exactly, but I want to talk a little bit about what is a Bitcoin reserve and why can it be catastrophic and why can it really nuke the markets tomorrow. So it's very important to understand what a strategic reserve actually is, okay? So if you look here, there is a strategic petroleum reserve in the United States. And it's the reason why I bring it here because it's a good example to showcase what a strategic reserve actually means. So there is the strategic petroleum reserve is the world's largest supply of emergency crude oil. So they need crude oil, and the United States has are stored in massive underground salt caverns along the Texas and Louisiana coastline of the Gulf of America. But anyway, so get the point. So what is the history behind? Well, in 1973, the Organization of Other Petroleum Exporting Countries imposed an oil embargo against the United States. And so they said, not anymore. We're going to do this strategic reserve. We'll not be squeezed by anyone. If anything happens, we have this reserve to touch. Pay attention here. Benefits. The SPR is a tool used to alleviate the market impacts of both domestic and international disruptions. You remember in COVID where you couldn't fuel your car and whatever? Well, if you have a fuel reserve, for example, strategic reserve or oil reserve, you're able to fuel your car. And that's how it works. This is why you have this stuff. So if shit hits the fan, You have something to touch. Now, you might be thinking about gold as well. So obviously, the US has gold reserves as well. And you look at this and you go like, so what is this really? Okay? So the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, it required the Federal Reserve to transfer ownership of the official gold reserve to the Department of Treasury and receive gold certificates. I'm going to talk about this in a second. But what I wanted to show here is that the gold reserves were going up and up and up after the 1934. Why? Because they had to transfer ownership to the Department of Treasury. So everybody had to transfer ownership of their gold. Therefore, the gold reserves were going up, and then it kind of flattened and plateaued out. Where did it plateau out? It plateaued out at 1971. Why? Now, it's very interesting. I don't know if you know history, and I don't really want to that much deep into it, but you need to understand this to understand the strategic reserve and getting your expectations right. This is Nixon, and he removed the gold standard, basically. It's called the Nixon shock, and he basically separated the gold from the dollar. Gold was priced in at $35 an ounce, and therefore it stabilized and gave value to the dollar. And then, because of all the inflation and war and everything that's been going on, he had to separate the two. And so here's the original speech.
The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar.
Temporarily, but it stays like that.
Into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
So basically what he did is that while until that point, the gold prices were fixed at $35 per ounce, from that point on, it wasn't. And so if it is the case, you might be wondering, why did the dollar price go down? Because this chart shows you an inflated adjusted price. It was basically suppressed, but if you take out the inflation adjusted price here, you will see that it was $35 per ounce from like 1935 all the way to the 1971, right? When he removed it, and inflation and the speculation and whatever basically skyrocketed gold. And this is exactly what we still see. This is the inflationary characteristic of gold. So they have a gold reserve. What do they have the gold reserve for? Pretty simple. They have it a stable gold reserve. If anything happens, they can just go and touch it. What happens, for example, there is a massive World War III, hope not, but there's a massive World War III, everything goes to shit, and the dollar flies away, and then they just say, okay, no problem, well, we're just going to come out with a new currency. It's going to be the gold dollar, and then we're just going to have all this gold that we have, 8,000 tons or whatever that is. We're just going to put the dollar back, gold back, then it's going to be our new currency. So they can do that, right? But if you look at this, the gold reserves, which is, obviously the biggest reserve, did not move for the past 50 years. It's the same thing. Now, the question is whether it's there or not. Fort Knox, they're going to go and see it, fine. But if you look at it, since 1971, it's 1974 here, there is no movement in the gold reserves, which made me think like, if there is no movement in the gold reserves, why are we actually becoming extremely bullish on the Bitcoin reserves? They're going to buy it once and they're going to hold it. Why is that bullish? Like, of course it's bullish because supply shock is 21 million. Other countries going to adopt. But if you look at other countries, Europe is laughing at Trump. Mexico hates Trump. China hates Trump. Like, why do we think that countries will go, oh, Trump is buying Bitcoin, we should do the same? They won't, bro. At some point, they will realize it, but it's years and years and years. It's not now. It's years and years and years. So while we are focused on this one single event tomorrow, I do think it's more bearish than not. Why? Listen to what Michael Saylor is saying about the events tomorrow.
Everybody's dying to know about the summit and what they think is going to be announced. How do you think this crypto reserve will be financed?
Well, I think that there's a 6-month process that's been laid.
6 months process. I've been talking about this for a long time, and I said that they had 90 days to put a proposal in front of the president, just to propose what they would want to do. 90 days. That still can go till April, okay? Just to make a proposal. And then 6 months, they have 180 days to actually put it in front of Congress. So just so we're like, oh, tomorrow is going to be an announcement with the detailed plan.
Out by the executive order, and I think the president was fairly deliberate in that. There are 12 members on the Presidential Working Committee. There'll be involvement from the industry, there'll be involvement from the Senate and from the House, and it's above my pay grade to decide how it is determined, but the Lummis bill has laid out the idea of acquiring Bitcoin strategically over 4 years.
The Lummis bill, she presented this bill of the strategic reserve. She actually presented it on Bitcoin Nashville. And so the bill says, as a proposal, that they should buy
consistently day by day
1 million Bitcoins in a 4-year period. Bear with me here. Now, I did the math. No, I didn't do the math. ChatGPT did the math for me. But here's the math. Current Bitcoin prices of 91,000. Purchasing 1 million Bitcoin over 4 years requires buying 684 Bitcoin daily. So let's assume, here's just so you are with me. Also like the show if you like this alpha, and also make sure to follow me on X if you like this alpha. Okay? But we're talking about the gold reserve that hasn't moved for 50 years. Okay? It's there. We have it. If we need it, we touch it. Same thing gonna happen with Bitcoin. But let's assume, oh my God, but they had to buy all that Bitcoin. Well, cool. What's the buying pressure? Well, if they have to buy, they're going to buy 684 Bitcoin daily. Okay, 684 daily. That's about $62 million per day. Okay, $62 million. That's about $1 billion a month. No, that's about it's about $1.8 billion a month. Okay, if they buy it every single day, $1.8 billion. So then you might be thinking, oh, that's a shit ton of money. Well, let's look at Michael Saylor's purchases since November. Okay, this is not like since November. He added 4 billion here, November 18th, 5 billion here, November 24th, December 2nd, 1.5 billion, 2.1 billion, December 9th, December 16th, December 20, what is it? 23, 561 million. Then he started adding a billion again. Bitcoin went down from 104,000 all the way down to 76. These are billions. It's not every month a billion. It's like billions every 10 days. And the price does not freaking care. So if you look at this and you go like 684 Bitcoin, that's about $1.8 billion buying pressure. No one gives a crap, bro. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's not going to move the market. That's not going to have an impact. The only reason why this could have an impact if they propose a proper plan tomorrow, like detailed plan. We're going to buy 1 million, 4 years, $62 million worth every single day, 684 every single day. We're going to use that to put it in the reserve. We're not going to touch it for 20 years. Like if that happens, the only reason why that will be or can be bullish is because other countries will see supply shock will happen. 51 million is there. You know, it's limited supply. There's only 19 million, but because the rest was stolen or left or whatever or forgotten. So like, because of the hype, I understand how this could be bullish. But if you think that and let's not forget the fact that they hold about 200,000 Bitcoins already. So like they can even say 600 Bitcoins, they can postpone another 300 days or whatever that might be. What is it? Not even, what am I even talking about? That's 10 days, 6,000, 100 days, 60,000. Yeah. So they can postpone for 400 days, about 400 days, and still have no problems with it. Like none, because still have. So that they can postpone their purchases for a year and still have the Bitcoin that they need in the reserve. So if you think that this is going to change anything, you're completely delusional, in my honest opinion. And even if this whole thing wasn't a problem, okay? You can look at this and be like, Lummis, who actually proposed the deal, she says that Trump's Bitcoin strategic reserve will have, thinks Trump's Bitcoin strategic reserve will happen soon, but here she also says that Dowd's crypto reserve will launch soon. This is a problem here in the post. What is this? Pro-Bitcoin Senator doesn't think, that's why, because the news was that it will not happen soon. So Pro-Bitcoin Senator does not think Trump's Bitcoin strategic reserve will happen soon. Now this is the girl who came on and be like, we're gonna do this. She does not think it's going to happen soon. Okay, why? Trump's multi-crypto reserve lacks bipartisan backing. No problem, they're gonna kick the shit out, kick ADA and XRP, and we're going to short the shit out of them, but they're going to say this, we're not going to approve it, but we're going to give you Bitcoin that can happen, and most likely will happen. Lummis Bitcoin only bill stalled in committee. You know what that means? That means you ain't moving, bitch. It means cool story. come back 3 months. That's what this means. And then even key Republicans call for delays over funding concerns. So if you think with all this that tomorrow whatever they announce will have a major impact on the price long term, you're delusional. You are completely delusional. And then you can start saying, okay, cool, but there is a sovereign wealth fund. Well, that will be financed from the tariffs and then everything is solved, which is exactly what this tweet is suggesting. Well, I've got bad news for you because again, the tariffs are temporary. We don't know what's going to happen. There's already news coming out that this afternoon and that afternoon, they will alter the 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and they will come back and then they will just have an agreement. This thing is all temporary, maybe a couple of months. And then what? And that's it. What are you going to finance buying Bitcoin from sustainably? Like you will not be able to convince the committee to spend the extra income that comes from tariffs to buy Bitcoin. It's just not going to happen. And it's not going to happen easily. So anyway, where does that all lead to? And I have to leave very soon. I hope that this gives you a little bit better perspective other than the fact that Bitcoin strategic reserve to go to the moon. I hope this, and if it did, you know what to do. Follow me next. I share all my thoughts, share what trades, and come back for the show. Subscribe to the channel because this is literally the best place you can be to get the best alpha, the honest alpha, not just the moon boy shit, but the actual alpha. So here's what this leaves us with on the charts. First of all, I'm extremely bearish on the chart. So I wanna make it very, very clear. Okay, very, very clear. If they announce a clear path forward with purchases and whatever, just because of the news value, I do think Bitcoin is going to $100,000 to $110,000, $120,000, okay? I think there's a 2% chance that they are going to announce it, but it can happen. I don't think we're going to have daily close above the $100,000, $110,000. But ultimately what I'm looking at is the following. It's going to be a big-ass nothing burger. We're going to start rallying here. We rally all the way up here. We rally all the way up here to the 97, 100,000-ish region. This is a very, very bearish OB. A very bearish daily OB. We're going to rally in here. The news is going to be a nothing burger tomorrow. We're going to get a 15-minute market structure shift, which is going to be a lower low in the 15 minutes. And I am going to short it. That's what's going to happen. Again, if there's an extremely well-planned plan and whatever it is presented and it's given to the media, fine. I'm going to go up. I'm going to take a 50x long and I'm going to probably close it in like 3%. Like when market moves 3%, I'm probably going to close it out and that's it. But ultimately, I'm looking at a short and I'm looking at range lows down here at like 80,000-ish. So this is my game plan for that. Guys, if you want a great exchange, I love Blowfin for a long time. You know me, love Ben. We worked with him. He is our BD. Ed Blowfin has been working with us here at Benter, and he's a very, very cool guy. The exchange is great. I use them every single day. If you want a great exchange, they give you a $150 deposit and trade bonus. So if you deposit $1,000 and trade $10,000, they give you a $150 bonus. So go and check them out. There's a link in the description. If you use the link, you get this bonus. It is a waste if you don't use these. Like genuinely, deposit $1,000 and you take a 50x leverage trade, a 100x leverage trade on tomorrow's announcements. You get lucky, you make it if you don't want to take it seriously, but you can literally make money from nothing. I wanted to bring you two more things. One is I wanted to talk about this because I made the post. If you follow me next and you turn on notifications, you know this. I've been extremely bullish on Ordinals. Now, I don't have time to explain Ordinals. We'll have weekend shows and whatever, and we're bringing you an incredible investigative show, which I'm going to show you later. But I've been going all in on Ordinals, okay? So, and I tweeted this and I said that I acquired an OCM, On-Chain Monkey, from the founder, Danny, of On-Chain Monkey. They are Ordinals, basically NFTs on Bitcoin, but they are impermanent, they are immutable, they are on-chain forever, they don't point to any server. They are the real deal, in my opinion, and Ordinals is where it's all at. And I just wanted to say that I acquired this little thing here. And if anybody's asking, well, this looks like something that my child draws, I agree with you. It does. And it's freaking awesome. Why? Because I'm not buying it because how it looks, but because of the historic value that it holds. It holds a value that this is one of the first ones to be inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. The first 10,000 collection inscribed in one single transaction, one single inscription. It was inscribed on a block 9. This block that this thing is pointing to is basically the 9th block ever created on Bitcoin. There's like 400,000 blocks now. The 9th. 90 minutes after the Bitcoin network launched, mined by Satoshi Nakamoto, this thing is on there, okay? So anyway, it's pretty cool, and I got it from Danny, the founder. I met him at the NFT Paris conference. Big ass shout out to them, to the team. I bought this with my own money, but this is a hold for me for a long time. Look into Ordinals, and of course, I'm gonna bring you more and more stuff. And I wanted to flag something to you because again, I get a lot of, what? Because he's laughing at me. He's like, what? Are you laughing at me because I'm buying a JPEG? No, I think not a JPEG. It's a 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙. I'm a 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙 Ordinals guy, bro. Okay. Anyway, so you will hear more about Ordinals. I'm going to talk a lot about it. I just wanted to flag this because I see a lot of people DMing me and saying that unfortunately some of them gets the water drains and this and that. And so this was a shocker for me. Apple is suing the UK government after the UK government demanded access to encrypted user data. Let that sink in. Their policies are so extreme that even Apple, a company tangled up the Chinese Communist Party, thinks he's gone too far. It's crazy. It's crazy. Imagine if they have the audacity to go to Apple and say, like, encrypted user data you should be giving up. What are they doing? So again, I can just emphasize again and again and again, you need a VPN. It's not a question. It's not only because of crypto, but because of human rights. You need to have a VPN that tracks your records online. It's very simple. You just get the software, you install it, and it masks every single search that you have, every single website you visit, your location. You will be able to access stuff that is limited to you, especially if you're in the UK and you post online. You need one of these. It's literally nothing. It's like $5 a month. Please protect yourself and get yourself a VPN. I use a VPN every single day on all my devices. It's pretty cool. If you don't want to use NordVPN, it's fine. The reason why I use them because they have threat protection as well. They have incredible customer support. And again, we have a great deal for you down in the description. If you use my link, I appreciate it. If not, that's also fine. But please get yourself a VPN. Guys, that was the show. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please let me know in the chat. I'm going to read the comments. I am going to read every single comment and reply to them. I'm going to post more updates on my X, so make sure to follow me there. I will have updates coming out today as well. And of course, throughout the whole event. And make sure that you turn on notifications. You can turn on post notifications so you don't get left behind. If I take any trades, you will be on there. Guys, if that sounds good, and if you're rewatching this, make sure to check out these two videos because they are pretty cool. You can click here to subscribe and yeah, check out the links in the description. And I believe I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself.